How big of a problem is this? When can we fix it?
You know, it's better than the reverse problem, which is having too many workers, having to let them go because the economy is not growing fast enough. So the biggest problem with the economy right now, Scott, is it's growing too fast. And that's not a terrible problem to have. It does fall on employers who have to find workers and pay up for workers. It's something that is going to limit some production that's out there. It's going to limit some of the hours that businesses can open, how fast they can reopen. I think we're going to get a big surge next month, I think, because some of the unemployment benefits that might have kept people on the sidelines are going to expire in 25 states. The other thing that's going to happen, I think by September, Scott, these schools will be open. Get the workers in the right place with the right skills at the right time by the fall.
Steve Odland, how much do you think these benefits that Steve Leisman just referenced are the problem?
Well, they're a big problem right now. I mean, you've got a bad labor market. You know, this May result was way below the consensus, and it shows that the labor market recovery is way behind the broader economic recovery. We still, though, are 7.6 million jobs below the February 2020 levels, with women representing the majority of those employment losses. And on top of that, you've got the labor force participation rate that has dropped. So, and then the final nail in the coffin is you've got average hourly earnings that increased by a stunning 7.4% annual rate in the last 2 months. So lower unemployment, lower job participation, the highest number of job openings ever recorded, and soaring wage rates all indicate severe labor shortages at the time.
It still is, Steve Odland, though hard to call a 500,000 jobs report a terrible report or a bad report. It was a bit below expectations, but we also suffered a dramatic loss of jobs because of the pandemic.
Yeah, and it then comes down to government policy, right? Because the loss of jobs was deliberately caused by the shutdown. And I'm not criticizing that because, you know, it was a global pandemic. But in order to snap back, your question is, you know, what do we have to do about it? And Steve Leisman is exactly right. We've got to get the schools open because parents still have to sit at home. Even with remote work, you've got too many parents that are sitting at home, and you've got too many benefits that are being paid here that outweigh the benefit of going back to work. So the government is disproportionately distorting the market, and as soon as the distortions stop, the market should normalize.
Steve Leisman, you agree?
Scott, I just don't see it as quite the calamity that Steve Odland does. I think it's a problem, but the idea that we're, I don't know, going to be delayed a couple months by putting some people back to work. Look, I feel the pain of the employers that want to open up. I understand they want to get back to normal right away. The idea that people didn't just drop everything and run back to work. And the idea, the other side of this, Steve Odland, I think is worth pointing out. Hey, I can look around a little bit longer for a better job, a more high-paying job. That's not the end of the world. And I think that the expectation was that, look, I don't think they should have been extended the benefits the way they were. I don't think that was the right call. There was a better plan out there to tie it to the unemployment rate in different states. That would have been a smarter way to do that. Given that, I think we're talking about a couple months either side. I don't think that's the end of the world. I think we're going to work this out, and maybe it costs us a little bit over a few months, but it's not a systemic problem, which would cause me much more concern, Scott.
Steve Odland, last word to you.
Yeah, you know, one surprising number in this is that the unemployment rate is actually higher for recent graduates of college graduates than compared to other people with bachelor's degrees. And so while the employment levels for workers 25 to 54 continues to track higher every month, there's a lagging improvement here. It seems to have stalled for people 20 to 24. And that might be, you know, and Steve is saying it, has said it before, but you know, one of the reasons is that the professional and technical services sector has more or less recouped the job losses. So it's really the unskilled labor market that we're talking about here that needs to
Yes.
Needs to normalize.